Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dota 2 Canada Cup Season 3. It is the end of Group D. Isurus Gaming versus Not Today, the potential last match of the day. And, well, with a victory here for Not Today, they will move into the playoffs. For Isurus Gaming, if they win, will be forced to go to tiebreakers. A lot at stake here in this matchup to see who can make it through to the next round. Again, my name is Mont. Joining me tonight, as always, is What is Hip? And, of course, our new stats man for the game will be LDJ. And, Greg, how you doing, man?
I've been doing good. Had a little bit of a long wait there. We had some issues with the lobby, and these things they happen. But we're here for potentially not only the last game of the day, but the last game of the Dota 2 Canada Cup group stages, and it's possible that this is it. But
remaining.
why don't you inform our wonderful rare winners
5
about
seconds
what
remaining.
could happen here?
All right, so here's what happens. So currently, Shadows of the Past is sitting at 2-1. Not Today is sitting at 2-0, and Isurus Gaming is sitting at 1-1. So if we were to, of course, go to a scenario where Isurus Gaming takes this game, everyone is at 2-1, which means I believe we have best of one tiebreakers for at least one round, and then we determine who moves on based on time rating. So one best of one tie break for each team, and then we'll see who makes it out on top. So that's only if, obviously, Isurus win. And again, Not Today will have Lycan like they did in the first game that they had, which was played by Ewo in a fantastic setting. So maybe a good start to the draft here for Not Today. For Isurus, this is a team that didn't do that well when it came to the TF4 qualifiers. A team that I expected to do a bit better, but it really just kind of fell apart for them. Their one fallback is they have fullback who's a great player, and he knows how to play a mean meepo. So we'll see if not, or maybe pick it up here for Isurus Gaming in a dramatic finish. We'll see.
Yeah, and they also have the Shadow Shaman to go with it, and we did see a bit of an unconventional build last time around for IWO on the Lycan, and he went Desolator, right-click, no Wolves, did not need. A lot of that did come down to the lane that he was playing against with the Tidehunter. The Tidehunter just doesn't take a lot of damage from the Wolves because of Kraken Shell. If he gets a Stout Shield, even less. Justified build ended up going Desolator instead and just mowing down heroes and towers, and well, it worked for them. And Isurus, personally, this is my first game seeing them so far in the Canada Cup. They've got a Viper as well as a Centaur Warrunner, and Centaur sort of back to the old standard, one of the better offlaners, not quite as good as he was I think that was pre-TI4 qualifiers when he was just first pick every game, but still an extremely strong offlaner, especially if you compare him up with any sort of pickoff abilities. Blink Dagger on him is extremely important to securing those pickoffs and initiating team fights. And then they've got the Viper, and he just runs around and does tons of damage in team fights. So I like both teams' lineups thus far. Second ban phase, nothing too important. Enchantress notably is banned out here, as well as the Sand King. Masuko has been playing Enchantress all night. They banned that one out, and interestingly, actually, an Invoker here picked up for Not Today. Brewmaster is banned out in the first round, as Smash has been going ham on that hero all day long as well. So.
Yeah, here's the interesting thing for me right now is that there's a Faces Void still available. Wasn't picked, wasn't banned throughout the entire first and second pick and ban phase, with the exception of these last two picks. It could be grabbed here for Isurus Gaming. Now, the thing is here, it's almost a really good pick for Isurus to prevent the Faces Void. Vengeful Spirit's so good against the Faces Void in that Chronosphere with swap that it's honestly really, really solid. But I don't think Not Today we're going to go for the Faces Void anyways. I really don't see them picking that hero up. I don't know if it really fits Mihawk's playstyle. They did ban out the Furion once again, so Mihawk has to find another offlane hero to play. Not that he's had too much trouble with that recently. But for Isurus Gaming now, you've got your Venge, you've got your Viper, you've got your Centaur Warrunner. Think about maybe grabbing another support or a mid lane here, as I imagine Viper is in the safe lane. More often than not recently, Viper's safe lane farm has been pretty standard. Try to get that mech up as early as possible and deal with the team fight that's coming your way through a Lycan. On the other side of things for Not Today, Shadow Shaman shackles into a Sunstrike is definitely a possibility here for Not Today. But Smash's Invoker is something I haven't seen too much of personally, despite me watching this guy a lot. So I'm excited to see how he plays it.
I don't think he's played it as much in competitive, but I think when he like pubs and stuff, I think he plays this hero quite a bit. So, I mean, he's Smash. We know how he plays. Although Invoker is sort of a little bit different
You
than,
can't play him
other
aggressively.
heroes. Yeah, you can't really go as him. More of a split pushing hero. So we'll have to see how he does on, a little bit of a different
Oh,
flavor.
how
And
are you?
all right, well, if
Radiant
they don't ban out
team
Meepo
pick.
here, I think that's a strong possibility for the last pick.
I think Tusk Centaur alone is a really good, solid dual kind of lane if they decide to go for that. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Meepo is.
Viper has a good matchup versus Invoker as well. So
I don't know if they went. I remember that Dakota and I casted this game with Isurus. They picked a Tusk then. I gotta go to Dat Dota. Hold on. I gotta look at this.
10 seconds remaining.
I gotta find what that draft was. Tournaments.
5 seconds remaining.
well, it is possible here that not today do ban out the Meepo. Meepo
Reserve
Tusk
time.
can be pretty oppressive, honestly, if you have the execution perfect. The bad news is that if you mess up once, pretty easy for your whole team to die. So we'll see where Isurus decide to go with the draft. I mean, I think that the Meepo has to at least be entering their field of vision right now. There's not heroes that are too incredible against it. Lycan is okay, but until he gets a BKB, you can Earthbind him. Shadow Shaman does not have too much burst damage. Hex can be a little bit annoying. An Invoker, well, it's pretty mediocre. So we'll have to find out where they decide to go. Fourth pick here for not today. Maybe looking for another support. They have to imagine. All right, well, it's going to be the Void. So
Dire
that does
team
go well
back.
with the Invoker.
Yeah, it really does.
So, I mean, I'm not too surprised to see that picked up here, despite haven't seen Mihawk play that yet. But Faceless Void is undoubtedly very powerful in this patch, and with the Vengeful Spirit and the Tusk, those are two
10
heroes that aren't
seconds
too bad
remaining.
in terms of bursting them down in Chronosphere. Centaur and Viper can be
5 seconds
a bit too
remaining.
tanky, but we'll see what the last hero is here for Isurus. Last ban, 36
Reserve
seconds
time.
left, and they're going to be looking to ban out another support here.
We'll see what they decide to go for. And I'm not sure. Not today. They've played very
Radiant
well. I
team
think a
back.
jungling hero for Masoku would be pretty good to have, but they go ahead and ban out the Jakir, which I think is a smart decision. And I'm excited to see this last pick for Isurus, assuming they don't ban the Meepo, but that's a large
10
assumption that I'm
seconds
making, a big
remaining.
leap in fact. Because you talked about it already with Tusk, that can be kind of
5
dominant, so
seconds remaining.
Yeah, that can be extremely good. I mean, it's a little dangerous
Reserve
because you
time.
are committing a lot to the initiation, but that's not necessarily always a bad thing. It gives you, some extra tools to kill some of these heroes. But we'll find out here. We'll see if it's on their radar. But not today. They have a very, very solid lineup thus far. I mean, you just look at these heroes and they are quite strong.
they're pretty
And it's
good.
gonna be a Storm last ban, so
Dire
they think that
team
this
pick.
is a easy lane Viper. It's pretty much impossible to run Storm in the easy lane these days. I mean, some teams used to do it with aggro try, notably EG, but not very many teams do that anymore. And the biggest problem is that he's just way too easy to gank free 6. There's a Shadow Shaman and an Invoker, and that can easily kill an easy lane Storm
10
Spirit
seconds
solo.
remaining.
So
That seems to be the trend nowadays. Is getting level or
5 seconds
mid laners that can
remaining.
actually survive because you have so many roaming gank squads out to kill you. Essentially, it's kind of
Reserve time.
ridiculous. So
So, last pick here for Isurus. I think. What other options are there? I mean, if this is an easy lane Viper, they're cruising for a mid hero, and it looks like it's gonna be a Pugna.
Radiant
So,
team pick.
if I had to guess, I think this would be a safe laning Pugna and a mid Viper. But not 100% on that.
I
That's
think
kinda
Pugna does
just-
pretty okay against an Invoker.
That's true. I just get really worried about putting Pugna in mid because
Of gank, yeah.
he's just so easy to roam
Yeah.
on. Like he's got like 10 HP. He's a flower, man.
You're absolutely right. That's true. He'll die in a matter of seconds. Kunkka is the pick here for not today, which that seems more of a smash hero than an Invoker or a Lycan or a Faceless Void. But that's actually going to be support Kunkka more likely than not, played by Masoku, which is actually awesome because we rarely get to see this, and it will be Masoku playing the Kunkka. I can't tell you how excited I am. You get a Blink Dagger on Kunkka, and all of a sudden you start going in with your X Marks, your Torrent, and your Ghost Ship as well. you don't even need to really worry about Tidebringer. Although it is still pretty solid. It's a nice
On support,
move,
yeah.
but...
On support, it's not where you're at though. It's Tidebringer scales better in lane. It's good for cleaving down when you have the big damage item. But yeah, it's just not where you want to be at. I think you're right. It's gonna be X Torrent, maybe a Blink Dagger to help set that up.
I think
things more along that line.
I think also it's really, really good with the Faces Void's Chronosphere. It's impossible to miss a boat into a Chronosphere. I mean,
I hope so. Yeah.
I mean, if you're Masoku and you miss one, I'm gonna just flame the shit out of you. No offense, Masoku. I think you're a fantastic player, but all eyes are on you, my friend.
There's no Misserino.
Yeah, no Misserino, your Botorino. As we jump into the game, potentially, like I said, our last game of the night here for the Dota 2 Canada Cup and the last game of the group stages. However, Isurus, they don't want that to happen. They are smoking up. Oh my lord. This is actually happening. Isurus are going to go for the level 1 Roche. And not today, I have no idea.
There's no way this is on their radar. Like, absolutely.
How do you do this?
No way.
Frozen Sigil level 1 to slow the attack speed of Roshan and make this easier. Salve up for fallback. Pepita can dish out some damage. I mean, you have some decent base. Wave of Terror to reduce the armor. There's no way. Not today. No, this is happening.
Oh god, please don't die, Centaur.
Oh my lord.
Well, that's a free Roshan.
Frozen Sigil's now down. You've got to be more careful here. Fullback's... Oh, this is dangerous as hell. I don't know if this is free, man. You still have to play this well.
I mean, it's not free, but fullback has another salve. They have... I mean, not today. This cannot be on the radar. Like, this is not a thing that you see... There's the Sigil to clean it out. No one's died. No one is gonna die.
But no one's at their lanes yet, so not today or like...
heroes are gonna enter the lane.
Oh my goodness. At 0-0-0, we get an early Roshan kill, which some viewers got an item for, and the Pugna LDS will grab the Aegis, already up to level 2 for every single hero on Isurus' board. And they get some gold going their way as well. And now, not today. Like I said, this could have been the last game, but that is not a way to start.
Yeah, Papita is gonna be a bit late to lane, but Viper versus Faceless Void, that is not a matchup you want to be on the melee side of. You are going to get absolutely rocked in this lane, I think. Mihawk, he's going to get a little bit of XP here, but the extra gold here is also not to be discounted for Pepita, and well, he's showing up now, and jeez. Bottom lane, Shards on IWO. They're going to go really aggressive here. No mana for Stomp, though.
The thing is, right now, you have to be very, very careful. Once you get Snowball up for your Tusk, and you can start snowballing in with said Centaur, all of a sudden, this becomes that much more dangerous. And again, we talked about how, like in fairs against aggressive tri-lanes, I mean, you can run them against him, and he might be in some trouble. So Ewo is going to have to play a bit more cautiously than he did in that first game when he played like an earlier. And we'll see how things progress here in the next couple of minutes. You can see they're already getting pretty aggressive in this lane, running towards. There is a pull happening from the Rasta, but he might be dead meat if he stays too close to this lane. They'll try to pull the creep wave away from the Centaurs. In fact, he will. And Misko just gets the heck out of dodge. He doesn't want to really fight there. So, again, a level advantage at this point. And
especially in tri-lane versus tri-lane.
Yeah.
A level on all of your heroes is huge because... You know, IWO is getting that level, but Shadow Shaman is still level 1, as is the Kunkka, so this is a big advantage, and Isurus is just taking over this lane. Very aggressive tri-lane here with, of course, the Tusk Shards slash Snowball Stun. They've got Magic Missile, they have Stomp. They have all the tools to take care of this lane, and until Shadow Shaman is level 3 now, he's not going to have 2 disables. Level 1, he has gone for 1 point in Ether Shock, and well, this is a problem for Not Today. I mean, this game is now they're playing quite behind already in this game. I mean, you can see they're 2,000 XP down and 1,500 gold.
Mihawk is going to town on Pepita. He might be able to get this kill with the time lock proc, but the slow coming through from the one right click of the Viper. And that's Mihawk with an Orb of Venom, mind you. Sunstrike? No. Pepita will avoid it. A little bit off the mark there from Smash. He was playing against LDS with 10 last hits already. Invoker sitting on 3. Smash, we don't usually see him get owned this hard.
Well, in his fairness, he was down a level. He's down 2 levels now. This is getting ugly.
Bottom lane, he was caught out of position. Magic Missile's going to go through, and there's not really any way you can save him here on the double edge. And the Torrent does some damage, but I don't know if you chase this. First Blood does go. Ether shot going. Sunstrike, Dolce. No, just outside the range. My goodness. Ooh,
No,
this is rough.
This is a pretty brutal game at this point for Not Today. They're now in this for the long haul. Yeah, I mean, they're just in this for the long haul. Like, all their lanes are not going well. Top lane has turned a bit sketchy. Faceless Void is actually doing a bit better than I expect, to be honest, but he's still down a level. And
you can argue that when you get your Midas up, if you get your Midas up for Smash at a decent time, he can maybe get back into this, but his lack of CS is really becoming a problem here, so he actually had to pick up a Null Talisman just to be able to do some base damage and work well in this lane against an already high base damage Pugna. And he has an Aegis, so he can play pretty aggressively, and especially when he gets to level 6 as well. He's already got Decrep, which is only a 2-second duration, but you know, you do some chip damage with your Nether Blast and you get a Decrep life drain, you might be in a good position to be able to take a kill or two, so.
Yeah, he still has the Aegis too, so I'm interested to see if they actually try to use this, and it's not that big of a deal if you don't, because just doing the level 1 Roche gives you such a huge advantage. Like, the Aegis is sort of an added bonus, and you don't really want to create a scenario where, you know, you die with Aegis and then die again, you know? Like, it's really hard to set up a scenario where you only die once in this early part, so maybe this is going to be
oh god, full back into Hydra.
They're
They're ready to go on Smash. Luckily, Smash is behind this tower, but is that even going to matter? I mean, again, you can play
They don't
aggressively
have a ton of
with the
HP. But he
There they
does
go.
have Aegis,
Snowball's
so.
coming in. Smash has got to back away.
Oh,
he's going to
boy,
get caught
he's-
out. Magic Missile's
oh,
going to go as well.
God.
Nether Blast. Easy kill. They don't even lose that much HP. In fact, they don't even waste the Aegis. Impressive gank coming up from full back into Hydra. They're already utilizing this Tusk combo to its fullest extent. Misco rotated up top, and he's looking to maybe make it go on Pepita, but he's got boots, and well, the Shadow Shaman does as well, but I don't know. This is going to be kind of tough. Void not 6 yet. He's going to find out the Viper, who has his Viper Strike behind you. Meanwhile, Pepita's going to try to go. There is the Viper Strike, and this is going to be a problem. Mihawk's going to time walk in. He's got to be careful. The Sunstrike's going to come in as well. Will they get this kill before Mihawk falls? No! Mihawk does go down, and Ewo in the bottom lane as well, getting ganked. They get one kill on the board for Not Today, but I don't believe that's anywhere near enough. They're still very far behind.
Yeah, and I mean, the problem is that when this happens, well, Masuka's he's dead. I mean, this trialing is so brutal. Tusk Initiation is just, it's really good. And I mean, you look, this is sort of what happens, right? They're snowballing at minute 5, 4,000 gold, 4,000 XP.
Tower is under attack.
Things are getting. Game is really hard now for Not Today, and IWO. We'll see if he can clear out some space, but he's 0-2 with only 11 last hits. The victim of this aggressive tri-lane, which is just destroying them. Faceless Void is getting something. Invoker is getting absolutely crapped on. He has nothing. He's not even close to Midas. He has 1 set of boots. Shadow Shaman at least is level 5. That's something, and he is middle to protect the Invoker here.
But the thing is, the Invoker does not play well from behind. I mean,
No,
if you're
Invoker's a
behind an
terrible build
Invoker,
for
you're just. It seems like you're done essentially, and unless they have some miraculous team fight and Isurus
feels
dive hectically, I don't understand how there's any way that they can get back into this one safely. Save, you know, chipping away at towers and getting a big chrono, or, you know, ratting, which they can't really do because I was only level 3. It just feels like in this situation, I don't know what you do here to get back into this one, but whatever it is, it's going to take a lot of effort, so.
I mean, basically, you have to hope that the game goes long enough that you can farm up a couple items that let you win fights between your chrono and your Invoker, but the next problem is that there's a Pugna in the team, which is just going to start mowing down towers. He's level 7, ready to go, has Arcanes. Mid, there's going to be a Forge Spirit scouting out the gank. That's very fortunate. A death there for Smash would have definitely been a tier 1 tower dead as well, so.
And arguably, I think at that point, the game. I don't know if you can really survive another kill.
Yeah, I mean, they don't GG out at that point, but it definitely, like, you know, that feels like it's just the end, you know? You get you're so far behind, like.
Instead, they're going to turn it around and try to get this kill on LDS, who, by the way, has no Aegis left. Do they have the damage? Ether Shock, Decrep, there's the Shackles, and they will get the kill. That is a high-value target. And instead of being the victim, Not Today, and we're just talking about how they could potentially lose a hero and maybe feel just demoralized. They get a kill and put some pressure on the tier 1 tower mid. Is that enough? Absolutely not, but that's certainly a start.
Yeah,
Dire's
absolutely.
structures
This is
are
a step in the right
fortified.
direction, and I like how
Dire's middle
aggressively
tower is
they're
under attack.
going after the tower here. I mean, I think this is a good move. They don't get it, but still, I mean, that's where you need to be.
And this gives some more room for Ewo in the bottom. At the very least, just a little bit of room against the Centaur. But now another rotation coming through. LDS has made his way bottom. And Ewo is going to get stampeded on. And there is absolutely nothing he can do here. Decrep, Double Edge. That is just a dead Lycan. There's nothing. Sunstrike? That did some damage to Dolce, but it wasn't nearly enough to get the kill.
Yeah, this, I mean, now he is getting bottle charge. He's got Tranquils up. Masuko,
you made a poor decision, my friend.
He's just this game is getting really hard for them. I mean, they're getting stuff here and there, but now they're going to start losing towers. You know, Invoker. If Invoker dies again before he gets his Midas, that's an enormous setback. I mean, he still has almost nothing right now, but you can just look at the last hits and look at the net worth. Top 3 heroes all belong to the Dire. Isurus. I mean, a lot of people had problems with Roshan because if you get it, it's like it's not quite a free win, but it is as close as you get to a free win in Dota. It's a huge advantage, and especially in professional. I mean, pubs maybe not. Professional Dota, it's a big difference, and less mistakes are usually made. But Pita, towers are falling. Here we go. This is the start of the end here, I think.
I'm reminded to a similar game. There's actually a Blink Dagger in Dolce. Hold that thought. He's probably going to kill Misko. Yep. He's dead. I'm reminded of a similar game where Dignitas was on the receiving end of a level 1 Roche, and it was a team that was obviously a tier below them. And they came back to win, but this was a couple patches ago, back when snowballing out of control wasn't as big of a thing. And they farmed, I believe, an AUY Lone Druid to, you know, pretty much
a million items back when he bought Armlet and stuff.
Yeah, back when he was really good on the hero. And I just don't know if you have that similar comeback potential, especially with how hard. It wasn't like they out of the gate they took Roshan and then they capitalized. Meanwhile, Stampede mid, Stomp, Smash is getting caught out. Magic Missile, he's gonna fall. They get the Ice Wall off at the very least, but the Snowball.
Soko's gonna die as well.
No Walrus Punch, even though he actually is level 6, he's gonna skill it now. Swap back, another blast, and there he goes. My God, they send him high up into there. He comes crashing down to the earth, and he's dead. His corpse strewn across the ground. So.
Oh my God! All right, I'm ready for a statistic of win rates of teams when they're up 10,000 gold at 10 minutes.
Can we get a win rate of teams that level 1 Roche? Is that possible?
I don't know if that's possible, but I'd be interested in both of those things. They're up 10k gold.
It's like a Misko with this cheeky ass play.
Oh
that's a tier 1, but they're like, well,
when you get it, you know, that's something. That's more than they have now, which is absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I've got to commend Isurus on their decision making this game, though. To go from that
was
lineup.
Not a popular level 1. I mean, that is not like a lineup, and you're like, they're gonna level 1 Roche. Like, there's no auras really. Oh God, IWO is gonna maybe die.
He does have his shapeshift finally, but
Blink Dagger. What?
Salve. There's no stomp for another 5 seconds. However, Magic Missile, boom! The Hydra gets the kill at level 4. And, well, the Dire Courier does go down. I'm not sure where. Over in this vicinity. It actually had 1,500 gold on it. That was Pepita and LDS's item.
There was a Staff Wizardry and a Magic Wand. So, that's not that big of a deal.
LDJ, if you can't find the Roche one, don't worry about it.
96%, that's pretty discouraging. And, I mean, this game's, they do have a lineup where, you know, maybe they can take it from some really gimmicky team fights. Like Faceless Void, Boat, Sunstrike, Wards on the outside. Maybe they win a team fight that way.
I think
there is a mech on Pepita though, and they're getting another Roche. Oh my God!
I think you need like 2 or 3 of those team fights to do anything. And the thing is, you mentioned they're getting another Roche, and with another Roche, that's more gold and experience going their way. That's just an increase. It's widening the gap for the experience lead. Wolf is going to come in and see that they did Roche. There's nothing they can do about it. They get the tower top at the very least, so some gold going the way of not today. But, I mean, surprisingly, it's almost even in towers, but that's really not the issue here at all. So.
Yeah, I mean, jeez, this game is just...
They need to get
this just feels so impossible for them at this point. Like, they know that what they have to do is split push, take fights with big ultimates, and get towers here and there with Lycan and Shadow Shaman wards. But unfortunately, there are 5 heroes
Radiant's
knocking
middle
on their
tower
front
is under
door,
attack.
ready to Rax them. I mean, with
Dire's
Pugna,
top tower
taking
is under
Rax at 12
attack.
minutes is a very real possibility. It's going to take a little bit, but
Radiant's middle tower
yeah, they're just
has
going.
fallen.
I mean, they have, what's stopping them? Nothing. Invoker does nothing. Faceless
Radiant's
Void
middle tower is under
is
attack.
okay, but most of these heroes have a lot of HP. Even
Dire's
Vengeful
top
Spear is
tower
over
is
1,000
under
HP.
attack.
Pugna is holding the Aegis.
Dire's structures
There's a mech.
are fortified.
They
This-
glyph that tower top that the Rasta was pushing in. The Serpent Wars
Yeah, I
do
mean,
end
so
up getting the tower,
This
This
but
is, I mean, this is what they need to do. This is steps in the right
Radiant's
direction,
middle
but
tower
they can't really
unfortunately,
afford to lose this
no,
tier
they
3
can't
tower.
do this. Yeah, they can't do this when their tower is dying.
So the tier 3's gone, Raxes are
Radiant's
exposed, they have no
middle
glyph
tower
for
has
another
fallen.
17 seconds or so. You've got to fight now. Maybe they're just okay with losing a set of Rax, but I don't think that's the right step to take.
I mean, you can't be okay with that when you have no Naga or something and keep them pushed out. Like, no levels in Tidebringer, so Kunkka's not going to
Dire's
do it.
bottom tower is under
Invoker, I
attack.
guess, is okay, but
That is a
here
4-man
we go.
chrono.
There's their initiation, but they have no
Where-
damage.
Ghost
They
Shift
go
is
one
going to come
hero.
through, and they do get LDS as well. Does he have the Aegis? He does. They will expend it. Mihawk did a lot of work in that engagement, but they need a lot more.
They have Stampede, they have Blink Daggers. If they want to reinitiate here, they can.
They're going
They're
to,
gonna wait
it
for the
looks
creeps.
like.
They're going in. Yeah, I mean, that's
Radiant's
all the
middle
ultimates.
barracks
That's
are
all
under
that's standing
attack.
between them and the base.
Dire's
One hero
bottom
dies.
tower is under
Oh well,
attack.
you don't get your mechanism, but they're
Radiant
so far
structures
ahead
are
that
fortified.
this is bad. I mean, these towers going down are giving them some gold. You know, the gold graph doesn't look as bad as it did a couple minutes ago, but
Radiant's middle barracks.
LDS about to fall. We'll stay alive. Swap coming through. Stomp onto Smash. In trouble. Now Walrus Punch going through. They will grab Smash. No, he's still alive. But fullback getting brought down low as well. Double kill for Ewo. Nahydro. No mana left in the tank. X Marks is going to bring him right back. There's the Shackles going through. They do lose the melee Rax. And that's huge. But they did get a lot of damage here on this tier 2 tower bottom.
Oh my god. Do you see this? This is disgusting.
Necro 2, Necro
Necro
3s.
2.
Yeah, let's see.
There's a Necro 2 on Pugna, and there's a Necro
They're
1
all
on
buying
every
Necro
other
books. Are you
hero.
freaking kidding me?
This is some stuff.
I would be...
There's gimmicky, and then there's this, and I'm a huge fan.
I mean, like, this is almost disgusting. I
That's awesome.
again, I have to commend Isurus
I mean, I
on
feel
their
sick
choices,
to my stomach.
but
If I'm not today, I'm like sick about this loss, but you know, this is one way to pressure an advantage: is Necro books on every single hero. I mean, I don't know if you were playing Dota at this time, but there was a time when Necro books you were only allowed to buy one a team, and they keep just balancing it to try to make it fair, and it's still not really that fair if your whole team has Necro books. So there's no Earthshaker. You know, in this Earthshaker, the Earthshaker ban in the draft makes a lot more sense now, knowing what was going to happen here. So
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
things are getting rough.
Dire's
things
middle
have been
tower
rough,
is
but
under attack.
not today are not really giving up, despite being down a melee Rax mid. They've actually climbed back in terms of the gold deficit
Yep.
here. It's 4,000 now, and they're actually pushing it to the top tier 3 with Serpent Wars, mind you.
Radiant's
This is
bottom
going to
tower
force
has
some
fallen.
rotations. Finally, not today are actually on the
Dire's top tower is under attack.
aggressing end of trying to put some damage on the towers, and they've done a nice job of working on this tier 3. And they don't seem to be giving up yet. They're not rolling over. And,
I mean, they've taken the steps to make this game winnable. They've killed as many towers as they can just by like cheeky little tactics, sending a Shadow Shaman solo, sacking some areas of their base. So they're working to equalize the gold disadvantage here. The problem is that the longer the game goes, obviously that's going to get, you know, the advantage is going to go back to Isurus because, you know, there's a missing Rax on not today's side. So that's just less value in creeps. So they're going to try to kill Mihawk right now, though. We'll see if they get him.
He's in a rough spot. They are
think
all
he should
grouped
be
up.
fine.
They have Radiant Observer Wards all over the place. He needs to get out of there immediately, and he'll do just that. He time walks away. He pops his Mask of Madness. Ewo is also not in the best area. Wave of Terror comes through. He has a TP scroll. And it looks like Misko has been relegated to pushing out the mid lane, which is a rough job considering these are melee creeps, mega melee creeps rather, that are coming at you. So
Yeah, he has a Necro of his own, had that in the last fight as well, and Isurus are going to go through top lane now and try to close this one out, and
Dire's bottom
we'll
tower
see if they can
is
do
under
it.
attack.
There is a world here where they lose this team fight and then Not Today can win the game.
I mean,
that is a possibility.
they
See
also
this?
might get forced
Bottom
back
tower
because of
has
what
fallen.
Masoku's accomplishing now with the Invoker. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
sure if
I
they
think-
do that, but yeah, they're TP. Well, no, wait, never mind. That's Masoku's TPing back.
I think they
Radiant's
just,
top
I think they
tower
just
is
go
under
for
attack.
it. I don't know. I don't think with how many
Dire's
Necro books they
bottom
have,
tower is under
they can definitely
attack.
push much faster. They don't have a glyph.
They only have to pop a couple of the Necros, too. In fact, I don't think they used all of them. LDS still has his Necro 3.
Dire's
Top lane. This Ross is trying to get his wards off. Yeah, he can't. He unfortunately can't.
If they had gotten that tower, maybe there's a chance. But just look at this. They have an army.
They know Masoku's here, by the way. They're pinging him like crazy. They're going to send a sigil over him. And he's like, I need to leave now.
Yeah, he's in danger of getting swapped.
Oh my god, the mech onto the Necro units. It's so difficult to deal with.
Look at this.
They're trying to fight, though. Ghost Ship's going to go. LDS might get caught out here. Big swap, but it doesn't matter. Chronosphere coming in, focusing down Pepita. LDS is going to be the target. Magic Missile going through. LDS will fall. Now, Big Meatball, Deafening Blast. Pepita going to go down as well. They're taking the fight. They're chasing after Fallback next. They only lose one. That's Mihawk. TPing out. Did he get it off? No, he didn't have it. He torrented instead.
Yeah. Well, now the Necros are coming up for not today, and this game looks winnable now.
Yeah, this game has turned drastically on its head. Experience deficit's even. It's even now. That's the crazy thing. The gold lead is still 6,000 for Isurus, but again, that's manageable.
Yeah. Well, maybe Isurus are just going to be another statistic, man. They're going to be one of those. They're going to be one of those 4%
that lost.
We'll have to find out. I mean, not today have taken all of these steps to put themselves in a winning position. You know, they sacrificed their racks to get essentially 4 towers.
It was one melee racks, though. That's the thing. Just one.
Yep.
A lot of damage on the range, and I'm surprised they haven't just pushed out mid and finished it off. And you can see them actually heading towards the bottom lane to maybe try to find a pick off here, which will make this game a lot easier on them, because not today are in a position where they can't really afford buyback on any of their heroes. If they save up at this point, then you know, they don't have their items, they can't get anything done. So
and I think for Isurus, they probably have learned their lesson that, you know, committing with their heroes is not really worth it when they have, you know,
Smash.
10 creeps.
Oh, Smash! This is not where you want to be, my friend. This is time for you to leave. And he hightails up to the high ground. That was very close. And they will spot out the rest of Isurus, who did come bottom to this bottom lane. So.
I don't see a reason for Isurus to like move past here. Like, just send the creeps. Oh, and they're gonna initiate.
They're gonna fight on them. Meanwhile, nice Decrep coming in. They will kill the ward, and the Ghost Ship coming through. Meatball as well. That damage so real. The hit 3. Meanwhile, chasing after fullback. It might be a 4th. He's gonna snowball real quick. Iwo has his BKB. He's not gonna pop it for this. Hex is up. Fullback is done. They're doing it, ladies and gentlemen. The Peruvian squad, not today. They're saying it. What do we say to the God of Death?
Well, yeah, not today. And I mean, this is what we were talking about earlier. You use those ultimates to win a fight, because those ultimates are worth more than the experience, you know, by themselves, and that's even tied up now. And those don't take into account how much gold the other team has, because none of these have any sort of like huge HP items. You know, Necro does give you a little bit of HP, but when you get caught in a chrono, you eat a meatball, you get ghost shipped in a really tight choke like down here. This is I mean, not today are just playing a really stellar game here after an unbelievably ridiculously huge disadvantage. I mean, you just can't even, you can't over describe the disadvantage they were at 10 minutes. It was enormous. Now 10 minutes later, they're almost 10k ahead in XP, and they're even in net worth.
The crazy thing is right now, just the composure that they had to get back into this game. The laning phase, like you mentioned, was just so awful. Iwo had absolutely no farm. They're becoming a bit more confident, but look at where his position now, and look at where the squad of Isurus is. So if he gets caught out here, that's a big problem. He does have buyback, mind you, because it's pretty early on in the game. He doesn't have the most farm, and he's pretty low in level. But the thing is also, for not today, more so for Isurus, they're actually, you talked about building tanky. Pepita's going to go for an Aghanim Scepter now, so he's got the point booster. He's a bit tanky. He also has the Ogre Club, so even more tank. He'll survive longer. But is that going to be enough? LDS buys a Vitality booster. You know, so now they're starting to build these items where maybe they stay alive in these Chronospheres. But at this point, all of a sudden you have a Maelstrom on Mihawk. All of a sudden you have, obviously, Invoker up to level 13. Ewo now, who's level 12, has his BKB ready to go. They have all these items for not today to give them that extra bit of an advantage in a team fight. Top lane, Centaur might get caught out of position. They use the Serpent Wards just to secure the kill. And on the other side of things, Roche falls. And LDS picks up the Aegis once again. Let's see if they can finally hammer it home. That was the 3rd Roche, by the way, so Cheese is up and available. It is on Pepita. This could be the change.
I think this is their last chance. I think if they lose this fight, they're going to be screwed.
You think they GG out if they lose the next fight?
They're not gonna. I mean, they won't GG out, but I think they're gonna like. I think they're just gonna lose if they lose the next fight. I don't see how they can. You know, I mean, at that point, Not Today is gonna have a ridiculous advantage in net worth, and they're gonna start building some huge items. I mean, BKB is already done for IWO. I don't even think. Yeah, he hasn't even used that yet. Masuku is actually getting items now. Like things are brewing here for Not Today. Smash is almost over 3,000 gold. So
what's his next item?
Something with wave clear. I don't know. Mjolnir doesn't sound ridiculous. There's so many necro creeps, honestly. Like
that's actually true.
There's so many necro creeps that you just need things to kill those. Because if this game goes mega late, you know, it's gearing up to the situation of if no one really commits to these fights, whoever has more necro books win, because you'll just keep throwing them at each other's base.
The necro arms race is beginning.
Yeah,
it has begun for some time, actually. I mean, when you have a necro 3 on your freaking roster, you know things are getting real. And every single player...
His job has just become push out and try to get them to TP back, and if they don't, get free gold. Like that's the Ross's job at this point. Not a bad job. But IWO is finally recovering. He had a really rough game, was the victim of the aggressive tri-lane, and yeah, this is something, man.
The score is even at 14-14. Now, mind you, every single player on Isurus has a Necro 2 or 3 with the one exception of Pepita. He is the only person in this game that does not have a Necro. Well, only person on Isurus' squad, I should say, that does not have a Necro. And that is something to behold. So we'll see how things shape up as we move into the 23-minute mark. And a lot of people might have not thought that this game was going to go that long, but sure enough, it has. And Isurus are in a position where, again, you talked about it, this might be their last hurrah, because all of a sudden you get a fight going the way of Not Today, and your items start coming out. So.
Yeah, and then it starts getting late enough where this one Rax advantage isn't as big of a deal.
Is he gonna live?
Evo can't die, though. Ooh. He has no money.
He just bought something. Wow, he just bought that Hyperstone. He was 20 HP away from giving that game up, I think. Mihawk's going to try to fight, though. He's going to jump in and look for a chrono. He's going to grab it only on one. Swap might come through in just a second, and it does.
Wow.
And they're going to focus on the Hydra, and the Hydra will fall, but they're okay with that. Can they catch LDS? Drum Charge was popped. They decide against going on him. Chrono's now down for 88 seconds. Maybe this is your opportunity if you're Isurus.
So they value the Venge over the Aegis there. I mean, that shows you how much stock they're putting in this pug now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Because he still has Aegis. I mean, he could have just died there, and he probably would have lived.
Yeah.
But man, this game is getting tense. Getting down to the wire. 3 minutes left on this Aegis. Something needs to happen.
I think they're going to wait for their Venge. 3 minutes is still a long time, though, when you think about it. But with the waves pushed out the way they are, I don't know if they have... I don't know if they'll have enough time. They're going to maybe make a wraparound from Pepita here, but this is dangerous. He's completely separated from his team, so I don't expect that to happen. Pepita's just saying, I'm going to come out right as they're backing away. And maybe there is going to be a fight. Stomp going to come in. They blow up the Rasta. Viper Strike on Masoku. He's going to try to TP out. I don't think he's going to make it. He's swapped. And this could be a big issue. Life Drain.
This is what you were talking about. Now you flick over to the buyback tab, and neither of those heroes have buyback. I mean, they're just buying items and hoping they don't die, honestly. Like Blade Mail for Kunkka, Necro 3 for Rasta. Those are not items you buy and still have buyback. So now, this is it. Isurus are just going for it. This is their shot, man. They just killed 2 big heroes. Boat is down, which is huge. I mean, Boat gives Not Today not only damage in the team fight, but also huge staying power in the team fight with that rum. But now they're in this really awkward position where these lanes are not even close, so they have to push through middle around.
Oh my god, look at the Forward Spirits too, bringing the creep wave back. This is the anti-rat coming out from Not Today, if you will. I don't even know if this is considered rat for Isurus, but they successfully
that just worked,
stave off any aggression, and they get the tier 3 tower top, which gives them that much more gold, and now they start to have buyback in some of these heroes. Again, not the Kunkka or the Rasta, but everyone else, yes. And for Isurus, they only have 2 buybacks. Obviously, you have the Aegis, but...
The thing I will say is that if they lose the fight, then I'm not sure how much the buybacks are going to help them, because they're really relying on the ultis. So if they die without using ulti, then, you know, it's very real chance they buy back, they can win the fight. But if they use their ultis and die, like, buying back's not going to do anything, you know? They're just going to walk up and probably die again.
Well, I think for... Well, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about not today.
Okay.
If not today, die, and they use their ultis, then buying back's not going to do anything, you know? Because
their entire... Low
yeah, I mean, yeah, but they don't have Chrono, right? So if they don't have Chrono, then ship's going to suck. So.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. Now it's Isurus who are defending. Somehow we've reached this scenario. Pugna has a heart. He's just bought out.
Yeah, he has no buyback, as you just mentioned, and the only one that does on Isurus' squad is Viper. Aegis is reclaimed in 30 seconds, and I'm sure not today know this full well. If you take a fight within the next 30 seconds and they kill LDS, they'll be back up and fighting again. They would prefer that that wasn't the case.
Yeah, they'd rather just that Aegis just left, you know.
And for Roshan, we have no idea when that's back up. At least I haven't seen a pop-up yet. Bottom's getting pushed in. And this is it. I mean, this is just what Not Today need to do. And they get the Dire Courier as well. Where did that die? Again, the second time this game.
That just died of creeps?
I think it might have.
Shitload of stuff on that Courier.
How does that die? There was no creep there, was there?
I think there was like an Invoker Force Spirit or something. There was a BKB on that Courier. There was a pipe.
Pipe, yeah.
Holy shit.
You need to go now, but Mihawk is in the process of dying here. Mike Chrono, but yeah, I don't think that's going to save his life. He's going to just try to get out of here as quickly as possible.
Swap.
Nice jukes coming out, but he cannot juke this, and he's going to try to time walk away. Wow, they can't catch him! He makes it out alive. Unbelievable.
Oh my freaking god. What a turn of events for Not Today.
And there's no Chrono available, but...
5,500 net worth. Courier.
Look at the buyback stats, too.
Oh my god. Now the Radiant all have buyback, and no one in the Dire have buyback.
There's no Aegis on LDS. If he gets caught, he's dead.
On the back of these ultis, they're just taking this game. Now they're putting down the wards. They're sending their Necros up the hill. Pug needs to just kill these as fast as possible. He has the heart. He's the one that should be taking that damage. There's still 4 spirits. The tower is down. They have to deal with the wards. He's life-draining 4 spirits. That's not working very well. What a crazy game we're at. Jesus.
The Hydra's not going to walk back. That was close to getting a kill with that Sunstrike, but...
Yeah.
The Hydra now has to be very careful. But tier 3 tower again, so 2 tier 3s gone now. And that's exactly what I wanted him to build in this game. And I'm so glad that he did.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Usually I'm not a fan of this Aghanim Scepter, and I wanted to talk about this, but this is huge. The low cooldown is important enough. The extra duration is huge. That gives you ample time to do enough damage. I mean, you have a Maelstrom, and you have a Mask of Madness, but more than anything, you have a Sunstrike, Invoker, you have, like... Meatball, you have Deafening Blast, you have everything, you have Ghost Ship, you have all of these abilities to use inside of the Chronosphere that I think is so key and critical. And Mihawk has done a fabulous job of hitting these Chronos. And now an Assault Cuirass as well from the Lycan. Now the damage is getting absolutely outstanding. His attack speed is pretty ridiculous, but he again doesn't have buyback. So now we're actually... This is where I ask you, how does Isurus win this game?
This gets hard. They need to get like smoke into a pick off or something, because they can't fight a straight up fight at this point. No one has BKBs. Yeah, they just need a good pick off. Mystico is out of here. He almost just died. Holy crap, he almost just died.
Yeah, he did.
And I mean, I think for me honestly, this Aghanim Scepter is about the cooldown, because every time they have Chrono, they're gonna have Ghost Ship, and it's gonna be ridiculously strong in these fights with no BKBs. They're going to get destroyed by this shit.
The Courier is up in 5, though, and Pepita is the one that has it.
Yeah, he's standing in the front, but he's still not going to have a lot of HP. At that point, he's looking at getting physical down by wards.
Chrono, it's going to hit onto 3, and that hits the Venge as well, but she gets right out, and she's going to just try to get away. Serpent Ward's there as well. That didn't do as much damage as they would have liked. LDS going to life drain. Mihawk in trouble. Boat does hit. Mech comes first, however. Meatball, Deafening Blast, but they all stick up, and they're fine. And this is a fight that is going the way right now of Isurus. Bottom lane is getting pressured by Ewo. He's actually going to take a ranged Rax potentially, and they have to rotate over. Top lane is going to be Misko. No wards, but he's got his neck where he's going for the ranged Rax. Ranged Rax, bottom does not fall. Forward Spirit, one more, no! They can't get it, but the damage is already done. It will not regen up. But Misko, it looks like he will fall. One more right click, he gets the ranged Rax top, so I guess mission accomplished.
What an absurd game. Jesus.
Is this Dota? Sure doesn't seem like it.
Necros get sent in, they kill it.
Okay, so 2 ranged racks is not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, there's a full set down middle, but now, jeez. And there's all those items off the courier coming back.
I don't know, man. That fight looked really good for Isurus, though.
Yeah,
all things considered.
Well, now they're getting this sort of critical mass of HP. They also missed the boat. Did not go in the chrono, so only got 2 heroes instead of 3.
Well, he didn't cast it until the chrono was over for whatever reason.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I mean. He just did not cast the boat in chrono. Pipe is going to help quite a bit in this next fight against all this magic damage. That's sort of a pseudo BKB. Because, you know, the stun is not the reason you're getting it, and oh boy.
They did not expect that, I don't think.
Nope.
Yeah, they definitely didn't expect that. I mean, that
could be
fantastic.
Game, honestly. Neither of those heroes have buyback.
I was speechless when that happened, because that came, you could see it kind of forming for not today, but for Isurus just to play that brashly and realize that they got chronoed. That's an unfortunate turn of events for the Argentinian squad. And there's a refresher coming out for the Invoker.
What an unbelievable... Just everything Not Today did this game was really good. Oh God.
Well, except for this.
Well, this is not good. But, I mean, just throughout this entire thing, they've put themselves in this position to take this game back. Now to Hydra, he's going to get blown up. Pipe's not going to save you. Deafening Blast on Dolce. We're looking at 4 heroes being dead. 1 coming back up finally is the Tusk. This game is just getting unmanageable now for Isurus.
And I was just, he's going to go bottom. He understands that this is obviously the opportunity. But I think there's a backdoor protected.
Dyer's bottom barracks are
or not.
Yep. Nope. I don't know.
I don't think, I mean, those wolves are doing an exceptional amount of damage if they are, so.
Yeah, that's true. It's very, very...
I guess the creeps are here in the mid lane, so.
Yeah. Just regenning back up.
Yeah, it is the melee racks after all, so.
Man, just what a... I mean, basically, let's just talk about what happened to get them to this point, right? And they've got these teamfight ultimates in Ghost Ship, they've got Chrono, and then they have Meatball, and they have Wards. And all of those things together, if you get 3 heroes all right next to each other, you can just blow up everyone. It's so much AoE, and they won 2 to 3 teamfights. The first one that I really think was extremely important was this one down bottom in this little choke area. And they just killed everyone in like 2 seconds. Same thing happened middle. And Not Today, they didn't wait. They moved out of the base to make sure that they got the engagement where they wanted, using those ultimates where they're the strongest. And, you know, all of that aided sort of by the Shadow Shaman just split pushing at the beginning of the game. When they were deathballing down middle, he goes top, gets 2 towers, goes bottom, gets another couple towers. And now they're in this position where they're up on gold by almost 10k. They're up on XP by almost 10k. And they're in a good position to just close the game out. There's no buybacks on most of these dire heroes. Only Viper and Pugna.
For those of you just joining us as well, what's at stake here is obviously the Dota 2 Canada playoff spot. Canada Cup playoff spot.
Need to win this game or they're gone.
Yeah, so Not Today.
This is nail biter. This is it.
Not Today looking to close out their Group D performance with a 3-0 victory.
This refresher from Invoker, I think it's just maybe going to end the fight. If they get caught in a bad chrono, they're all dead. Like, double deafening, double meteor is just outrageous amounts of damage.
Uh-oh. Nisco, you need to leave, and you need to leave immediately. And he will TP out. He's actually TPing top. So they're going to Roche, but guess what's happening? Bottom lane of Rax, melee. And he was going to BKB it up, and he actually can't do any more damage because of the glyph popping. He's going to rotate. He's going to swap back as well. Centaur Stampede going as well. Meanwhile, top lane Rax taking some damage. The melee Rax might go down. Big chrono onto 3. There's the Sunstrike, but where's the rest of the damage? They have to get swapped back out. Mihawk not going in. They're actually focusing on the rest of the squad. Now he's in trouble. Decrypt and Life Drain. He'll get blown up. That'll be the Tusk with the snowball getting the kill. He's down for 68 seconds. Iwo about to fall as well. X marks on Dolce. And everyone has buyback except Masoku. He'll blade mail it right now, but it looks like he might fall even. He'll get matched missiled. Wave of Tear. Right click down. And he'll be the casualty that does not have buyback. But look at bottom. You look at Nisco. No Necros, he just wants to push into the base, but here comes the squad of LDS. I don't know if this is enough. Misco now. He's going to hex up. He really wants this. He can't attack yet. One more will do the job. He's going to get the racks. 2 sets of racks done for Not Today, and he's going to TP out.
He just cha-cha-cha'd with maracas on the way out, man. It's like, I just killed your base, and I'm out. See you guys later. Unbelievable. Not Today is just... And, you know, they didn't really crush that fight. Smash was very noticeably absent. He doesn't have any mobility items. He's just full team fight.
He needs the bots.
And he was middle, just kind of hanging out. So he did not get that one. Checking for wards, they're not there. And man, not today has got it. They've got to feel great right now, man.
No,
like
this
game's not won yet, but they're just so close to being able to take this one. IWO.
He's got a BKB. He might have to use it, but there's the Deafening Blast and the Meatball coming into Hydra. Takes a lot of that damage. Dolce falls immediately. Iwo actually does a ton of damage with Assault Cuirass, but the Viper Strike is going to go. There's going to be the punch, actually, through the BKB. Stampede, they're going to try to turn on this. Magic Missile. Sunstrike coming somewhere. Did they get the kill with that? I'm not sure. Meanwhile, there's the Chronosphere fold back. In some trouble. BKB going to go for Smash, and Peter falls instantly with Mihawk getting the double kill. Buyback from Viper. This is a crazy game. Dolce, he's going to get X-marked. And
Misko is just the hero of this game. I have to say, he's the one that's making all of this happen. Just walking around, he got the early gold advantage. He just took down another tower with Aghanim's wards. Necro 3, BOTs, Aghanims. When's the last time a Shadow Shaman scene had those 3 items? Just those. And Smash picks up another one, and what an unbelievable game. Was that like in... Oh, that was right next to him. This game is just unreal.
Dire's middle tower is under
it's
attack.
topsy-turvy, 23-22. And as bleak as things were looking, not today. That's their motto. Misoku's going to TP out. There's actually a DD rune, which they haven't spotted. Please, just walk forward. Just move forward, Smash. No! Come on. Misko, he might get caught out. No, he's fine. He's got bots. He can actually head back to the bottom lane if he so chooses to do so. Isurus have smoked up, and even if they do, I mean,
look at
Mihawk's
up
going
on
in.
Rexes now. What the?
Fullback is spotted. Time walk. Chrono only onto fullback. No way of really stopping this. Ghost Ship's going to go. He actually decreps fullback, but that's only going to hurt him more with Ghost Ship coming in. And the Torrent. He'll fall. The mech not doing much there. Ewo actually has Shapeshift and a BKB. And there's the Viper Strike. So, meanwhile, LDS, he's taking a lot of right-click, and he might fall here. He's going to try to TP away. Decrepit, no, the Tornado. The Meatball, Deafening Blast, boom, he falls. 3 dead. Meanwhile, you talked about it. The Hydra getting shackled up. Misko's trying to go to town. The Necro units, they're killing him. They're killing the Raxes as well. Misko is all over the damn map. This is one speedy, one crazy Rasta. Sunstrike coming in. It actually kills the Necro Warrior. Misko's still on the run. Centaur Stampede, they really want this kill, but he has buyback.
No buyback for Toss. No buyback for Pugna.
That's it.
No buyback.
That's Megas.
That's Megas. They lost.
And they're going to go straight for the tier 4s. Not today. On the receiving end of a level 1 Roshan, Isurus Gaming pulled a fast one on the Peruvian squad. But the veteran leadership coming out from Mihawk, coming out from Misko. Smash played an extraordinary game, but they will move on to the playoffs alongside Shadows of the Past. Isurus Gaming, they almost had it, but their road for the Dota 2 Canada Cup ends here for Season 3. And what was one unbelievable heck of a game.
Seriously, what a fucking game that was. Unbelievable. 10k down at 10 minutes. They are the 4%, man. What an unbelievable display from Not Today.
Well,
and again,
guys,
you know, this is something I've been talking about a lot in our cast recently, is this concept of playing to win and playing to not lose. Defending their racks at the beginning of the game would have been playing to not lose. Instead, they sacrificed their racks, take down 3 towers instead. That's playing to win, and they fucking won.
And they made a decision which we were questioning at first, but they've lost 1 building, 1 racks. They lost to tier 3, they lost to tier 3 top, and then they lose their melee racks mid, and they say no problem. That's when they turn on their overdrive, their turbo button, whatever the hell you want to call it. They get in the zone, and they just take a game out from underneath Isurus Gaming. The Battle of the South American squads are done. Not today, moving on. That'll be it for us here tonight. We have a bit of a break before we get back into action on the 17th with the playoffs coming your way. And I will look at the schedule real quick and see who is coming up. I'm not sure if that's set in stone yet, so you might have to wait. It looks like it is not set in stone. So for now, guys, just join us on the 17th. That'll be 8 o'clock Eastern, prime time for more Dota action. That'll be some great matches coming your way. A best-of-3 series between 2 teams. We'll see who faces off in that one. Again, guys, thanks so much for joining us. My name is Mott. With me is What Is Hip and our stats man, LDJ. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. LGJ. It's been an absolute pleasure. For us, you can go ahead and follow us on Twitter, @MottDota, and @WhatIsHipTV as well. twitch.tv/montdota2, and highground.tv for our website. And make sure you check out all of the Dota 2 Canada Cup action on dota2.ca, and where you can find out more information. And obviously, purchasing up the Bearski Courier, $5.99 in the Dota store, gives you access to the Dota 2 Canada Cup. It's well worth it. A great courier for a great cause, that being the American Dota scene. So that'll be it, guys. We've had an absolute pleasure casting for you this evening. Hopefully some rares were won, and hopefully you guys have an excellent night. So take it easy, everybody. We'll see you all next time.